It's another fresh episode of Just Nigeria brought to you by the BBC and Channels Television. Here, we track stories online, in the news, and dissect them. I am Mercy Frank. But let's start with our top story. It's officially 365 days since Bola Tinubu assumed office as president of Nigeria. But last year, this day was dotted with a lot of expectations and renewed hope. The hope of policies that will transform living realities of over 200 million Nigerians, some of whom are grappling with rising living costs, insecurity, among other issues. But are things better today than they were last year? In the story, Just Nigeria's Wale Fakile assesses 4 critical sectors of the economy under this government to see what has changed.
Bola Tinubu, do solemnly swear.
An exchange of baton that delivered a fresh pair of legs in Nigeria's democratic marathon. And as the sun sets on President Bola Tinubu's first year of running the race, the nation navigates a tightrope of triumphs and tribulations.
We shall defend the nation from terror and all forms of criminality that threaten the peace and stability of our country.
At the very heart of all the politicking are more than 200 million Nigerians and a teeming young population with high hopes and aspirations.
We as young people and as students are actually feeling the impact.
There's a big deficit in our educational system.
If there's no knowledge for
in our educational system,
don't
become a victim.
Bola Tinubu became president in 2023 at a time when Nigeria was at a crossroads across many fronts. Government earnings were fast depleting, while public debt ballooned amid a wave of insecurity. And with the NSAS protests that were brutally crushed in 2020, many young Nigerians felt alienated from government. So, the elections saw a lot of first-time voters and other youths wanting to make a statement with their ballots. In a chat with the BBC before the polls, the then presidential candidate said he understood the challenges.
I have governed Lagos. I built a model state that could be a country on its own.
Nigeria is one of the countries with the largest number of young people in the world. Data from the United Nations shows about 70% of the population are under 30 and 42% are under the age of 15. 1 year down the line, how does this important demography perceive the president and his policies across crucial sectors? We went to some universities to find out.
If there's no knowledge for him,
become a victim.
Economic recovery to accelerated development to get Nigeria employed and get inflation down. Monetary policy needs to be changed. Subsidy needs to be decided upon.
And during his inaugural speech, the fate of fuel subsidy was indeed decided.
The first subsidy is gone.
Having to remove the subsidy at this moment is, for me, very, very insensitive at this point. And if you look at other policies too that has been coming on board in the last 1 year, I fear for the next 3 years.
I think if the naira is stable, the removal of subsidy won't have a detrimental effect on the average Nigeria.
The price for shuttle has gone up, the price of goods have gone up, and I run a business, so it's been quite exhausting.
A lot of us these days can't actually afford the things we needed to survive on a daily basis.
The removal of fuel subsidy led to a sharp increase in the pump price of petrol, compounding a cost of living crisis. Before the cut, a litre of fuel sold for 250 naira, but now sells between 605 and 1,000 naira in different parts of the country.
They said fuel subsidy is gone, and merely saying that is a fiscal decision that it's not well assessed. I think that actually affects, because most of us think it is actually premature for him to make that decision.
Alongside the subsidy removal, the Tinubu administration also floated the naira. These devalued the currency with a ripple effect on import prices, cost of commodities, and inflation.
Headline inflation in May 2023 was 22.41%, but currently stands at 33.69%. The Naira exchanged for about $750 to $1 on the black market in May 2023. At the moment, the Naira exchange is between $1,400 and $1,500 to $8. To address the inflation and support the Naira, the central bank has hiked interest rates for the third time this year, further slowing the economy.
Was there a way for us to escape it? I'm not sure, because we're already in a bad place as a nation. So everyone was sort of expecting some negative or some heat before it becomes good. But did we expect that it would get this bad? I do not think so.
The president has ordered the implementation of buffers like cash transfers to poor Nigerians and the adoption of CNG-powered vehicles, but implementation has been slow.
If there's no justice for him in our educational system, normally don't become a victim.
So we have to look at, alternatives, and those are the mass recruitment of individuals in a volunteer army.
Many people are avoiding road travels because there's a lot of insecurity, and even that has personally affected my family. Cases of kidnap that I have, like a close relative of mine. This is something that used to be so distant from me, but it's like everything is coming so much close.
In the night, we are even afraid to go outside because they can attack or rob you at any moment and collect your phone or anything you're carrying along.
I think they need to empower more policemen and train them well so that they can be able to interact with the society.
It's not that bad, it's not that good. It's okay, it's manageable. I'm still alive.
Security has been a major priority for the Tinubu administration. But in the past year, there's been threats from Boko Haram, armed banditry, and communal clashes in various parts of the country. More worrisome is what seems to be a resurgence in mass abductions. The International Center for Investigative Reporting says more than 380 people were kidnapped across the country between December 1, 2023 and January 3, 2024.
To address these issues, the president is leaning towards the adoption of state police. He also devoted the highest allocation to security in the 2024 budget. However, many young Nigerians still feel unsafe.
The last 1 year of President Buhari, we recorded around 9,000 deaths. We're seeing the same thing for the first 1 year of President Bola Tinubu. In some months, you will see record 800, like we recorded in March. In April, we recorded 1,087. So sometimes it increases, sometimes it decreases. When you add all the 12 months together, it comes to around that 9,000, which is the same thing for President Buhari.
Generally, the security seems to have improved. Just because the people in leadership seem to be responding.
If there's no justice for him in our educational system, normally don't become a victim.
Nobody will drop out of university because of school fees. I guarantee you that.
Fees of federal universities are increased. Some people even had to drop out.
I'm not expecting ASU to strike again because I cannot be paying close to 200k for you to still strike. I actually witnessed the 8 months and that's affected me.
The policy, the student scholarship or the student loan is actually a good initiative.
I want to say that even if we take this loan, I'm very sure majority of students will not pay this loan back. It's better for the government to give this as a grant.
Education has not been spared from the cash crunch bedeviling Nigeria. In the last quarter of 2023, students in some federal universities were thrown into panic after schools increased tuition by as much as 200%. To cushion the effect of the skyrocketing costs, the president signed the Student Loan Act into law in April this year.
There are high unemployment rates from graduates, so it's not just about getting a loan to go to school, but are you able to pay that loan back? And will you be able to be employed and contribute to society and not feel burdened by the student loans you have?
The sector got the second highest allocation in the 2024 budget, with 2.18 trillion naira, representing 7.9% of the budget. But This is a far cry from the UNESCO recommendation, which says Nigeria should spend between 15 to 20% of its annual budget on education.
If there's no
knowledge for in our education,
Normally,
don't become a victim.
Delivering improved quality health. The outcome is an underpinning factor in my promise of renewed hope.
I'll say it's more like it's now for the rich.
All the doctors know that what is profitable over here will be times 2 profitable once they fly abroad.
A lot of our nurses and doctors, they want to jackpot, and some of them have.
President Tinubu pledged to increase healthcare spending and work towards universal health coverage, but progress has been slow. He earmarked 1.3 trillion naira for the health sector in the 2024 budget, 4.6% of the appropriation bill. But this deviates from a 2001 African Union declaration that African governments must allocate a minimum of 50% of their annual budget to the health sector. Another trouble is the ongoing brain drain, with many healthcare professionals seeking better opportunities abroad.
In terms of leadership and governance, some of the policies that have been, and the memorandum of understanding, and some of the policies that have been put together, or in terms of establishing the past 1 year, has been great, and they're actually working to follow, those policies and implement them.
If there's no
knowledge for in our education,
normally,
don't become a victim.
Renewed hope and promises of progress, those were the mantras that propelled President Tinubu to the pinnacle of Nigerian politics. But 1 year into his presidency, many young Nigerians say the nation has regressed with mounting socioeconomic difficulties.
We need more targeted, gender transformative education policies.
Ensuring that the capital expenditure is deployed effectively and that those infrastructures are established to actually ease doing business is something that needs to be looked into.
There is supposed to be a framework for addressing insecurity in each of the 6 geopolitical zones. We're waiting for that. And that is the responsibility of the coordinating elements within the national security sector.
Some of these things appear to be not so palatable at the beginning. But ultimately, government feels that Nigerians are going to enjoy the more, because these monies that are being saved from some of these measures that have been taken have actually been plowed back. None of the states, none of the subnationals is not taking more than twice of what they were receiving from the Federation account only a year ago.
As Nigerians and the country's young grapple with the tangible trials of the present, the question is, will President Bola Tinubu's transformative vision ultimately triumph, or will it succumb to the turbulent tides of public discontent? Wale, Fakile, Just Nigeria.
Oh, God bless Nigeria indeed. Is this government delivering on its electoral promises to you? Share your thoughts with us on X at Just Nigeria TV. Would like to hear from you.